You're listening to The Positive Professional with me, Tracy Yvonne. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to episode number 17. Season 2 is rolling right along, and today I'm going to talk about the psychological concept of gaslighting. Have you ever been told that you're crazy or you're imagining things, or you've been told that a specific event or incident never happened like you think it did? Well, you may have been a victim of gaslighting. The dictionary describes gaslighting as the use of psychological manipulation to cause a person to doubt their own sanity. Gaslighters may be spouses, partners, parents, co-workers, friends, or other family members, and it can be both genders. Gaslighting is psychological manipulation. The term gaslighting comes from the 1944 movie Gaslight, in which a man manipulates and lies to his wife, including turning down the gas lights, to the point to where she can't trust her own thoughts and reality and she thinks she's going insane. Stephanie Sarkis, the author of the book Gaslighting, quotes gaslighters will say that you and or people around them are irrational and have things all wrong, when in reality they're avoiding having to explain themselves or take responsibility for their actions. Stephanie also wrote the viral article, The 11 Warning Signs of Gaslighting, which highlights common behavior patterns of gaslighters and how to recognize the signs before it's too late. Some of the warning signs she mentions in the article include lying to you, denying they ever said or acted a certain way, not wanting to talk about it. They attack the foundation of you, your flaws, and use it as ammunition. Wearing you down. Their actions don't match their words. They use positive reinforcement to confuse you. They project. They turn people against you or say that you're crazy. And some other signs include withholding information, isolating, verbal abuse, offensive jokes, and undermining or controlling. All of these signs obviously have emotional and physical effects on individuals, and the victims may not be able to recognize or feel so powerless that they can't escape from the relationship. These tactics are used to get the victim to question their reality. The article can be found on the website Psychology Today, and again, the heading is The 11 Warning Signs of Gaslighting. And although I have mentioned some of them, having a read of the article, you'll be able to help you understand each of these signs and symptoms more clearly, and hopefully, just by outlining the main points today, you'll be able to reassess some of your relationships and maybe some of their behaviors towards you. The main concept of gaslighting and the control of another person, and making someone question their own reality and self-value. Lying to someone is giving false information or inaccurate facts. Denying they ever said something, again, is taking away control from the victim, as it makes the victim question what is real and what is not real, or what is their fault or what is not their fault. In all relationships, people may forget important events, or a partner or a friend may be rude because they're having a bad day, or someone could point out a negative flaw in you without them realizing that it's hurtful to you. However, the difference is that gaslighting is actions or words that is constantly used or performed with intent. It's a pattern of behavior, and it will use some of all of the behaviors mentioned in Stephanie's article and more to control and manipulate the victim. Gaslighters will slowly collect information about you or get to understand you, and then use that as ammunition to tear you apart and break you down. The article, I've counseled hundreds of victims of gaslighting. Here's how to spot if you've been gaslighted, published on Vox, includes some symptoms that can help you recognize if you are the victim of a gaslighter. These include statements like, if you're asking yourself, am I too sensitive? Feeling confused and crazy in a relationship. You're always apologizing to the gaslighter or taking the blame for an event or situation. Often feeling stupid or incompetent. You feel something is wrong, but you aren't sure what. You have trouble making decisions. You second guess what you know is true. You feel anxious around that person. You feel more stressed and less joyful, feeling hopeless and having little pleasure in things that you used to enjoy, not feeling like the person that you used to be, and having a gut feeling that something is wrong with the relationship. The article also contains some common statements gaslighters may use, such as, "You're imagining things," or "You're just overreacting." "Don't get upset, worked up, or angry." "That never happened." And "You're always so dramatic." Having a look at the article yourself might be helpful, as it allows you to recognize the common behavior patterns or statements that are common from gaslighters, and therefore recognize the symptoms that you may be a victim of one. Being aware of their behavior allows you to reaffirm your power and change your situations to help you spot this type of behavior in the future or red flags. The article on positive psychology, What is Gaslighting? 20 Techniques to Stop Emotional Abuse, also has 25 questions to ask yourself to know if you're being gaslighted, which also may help you recognize if you're currently or was a victim of gaslighting. As I mentioned before, gaslighting can be present in all interpersonal relationships. The term gaslighting has also been used in politics, news outlets, and corporations as fake news or modified facts and figures, and are spread to the public. In the 2016 American presidential election, this led to the term being popular. However, it's been used to describe many political promises and tactics used by politicians all around the world. In the next segment, I'm going to talk about how gaslighting can affect your mental health. Obviously, gaslighting can have major effects on a victim's mental health. The article in Positive Psychology, What is Gaslighting? 20 Techniques to Stop Emotional Abuse, highlights that some long-term effects can include anxiety, chronic stress, depression, isolation, trauma, and possibly psychosis. Being constantly belittled, questioned, your traits being used against you, your personality being criticized, and being ridiculed can make the victim wonder if there's something wrong with them, and constant negative thoughts will obviously impact the victim's mental health. The victim becomes confused with their memory, exhausted from the constant feelings of being wrong and put down, intimidated, and feeling vulnerable. And these are only some of the emotions a victim may experience. So what to do if you're being gaslighted? Again, the article in Vox and the article on positive psychology, both mentioned earlier in this episode, has some helpful steps that you can use as the victim to break free from the gaslighter's power. Or you may be witnessing a relationship that is unhealthy and may be able to mention this to your friend, colleague, or sibling that they could be a victim. So I've combined both articles listed, and I have some steps that I want to share. However, you as a listener should read both of them as they go more in depth in the articles. So the first one is to identify the problem and warning signs. Identify the behavior problems of this person and your relationship with them, and recognize some of the warning signs that have been mentioned earlier, or research the warning signs using some of the references that I'm going to be mentioning at the end of this episode. Next is to reevaluate and recognize. Journaling conversations. Write down the dialogue and language they use. Write down events that they have made you question your sanity. Write down what they have said to help you to distinguish facts from fiction, and record dates and times of events. Listen to your gut. Always trust yourself. If something doesn't feel right, you should trust it. Next is to look after your own mental health. Meditation and relaxation techniques can help you ease the stress, anxiety, and confusion you may be feeling at this point in time. Visualization techniques and guided meditations may help you get your power back, and visualize how you can change the now to the future you want to achieve. And try not to react. Try not to retaliate or react, as they will use this against you and seek revenge. Use your support system. Reach out to friends or family that may be viewing the relationship, or listen if they bring up the behavior of this person. Also reach out to friends and family that you know that you can trust during and post leaving this relationship to support you, to guide you and help you with your recovery. And think about your feelings and self-care. Accept how you feel. Learn about yourself and your emotions, your triggers, and research or visit a therapist to create practices to help you deal with your feelings. Self-care is important to help you move forward, make your own decisions, and give yourself love. Escaping the toxic relationship is important. And once you've recognized the toxic relationship, it's okay to walk away. Toxic friends, family members, workplace all have an effect on your mental health, and you should distance yourself from these situations. And again, seeking professional help. A professional will always be able to provide you with practices and tips that can help you recover from the situation. There are also some amazing books and resources, such as self-development books, podcasts, documentaries, and such, to get you inspired to help you to recover. Some self-development books may also contain some methods or exercises that you can apply to your everyday life to help you take away the pain and reestablish yourself. Although the internet may not be the most reliable source of information, there are some articles and resources to help you understand the concept. As mentioned earlier, Dr. Stephanie Sarkis is a physiologist who is well known for her article published in 2017, The 11 Warning Signs of Gaslighting. And she also published a book, Gaslighting: Recognize Manipulative and Emotionally Abusive People and Break Free. Reading through the article, it goes a little more in depth of the signs that I have mentioned at the beginning of this episode, and reading her article may help you to understand them better. The website Psychology Today also has some helpful articles and blog posts to help understand the concept, and the website Positive Psychology has multiple articles to help you understand the concept of gaslighting and also techniques to recover. The article on Vox by Robert Stern, again, uses a reference for this episode, also goes more in depth about signs and coping mechanisms. So I'm going to share some books that may be able to help you get a better understanding of gaslighting. The first one is The Gaslight Effect by Dr. Robert Stern, Gaslighting by Carrie Parker, The Gaslighting Recovery Workbook, and It Didn't Start With You by Mark Rowland. Again, I'm going to mention meditation and relaxation techniques, as well as positive visualization exercises, as they are powerful in the recovery process. Meditation allows you to take time to reflect and heal from pain, decrease anxiety, decrease the stress that you may feel from your experience, but most importantly, also being able to let go of the past and move forward. And don't forget to set some time every week to care for yourself, to put yourself back together, and be the great person you want to be. Thanks for joining me today. I look forward to you tuning in to another episode. Make sure that you've subscribed to this podcast, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Stay safe and be well.